Next, we're going to move to Act 2. So you've had a problem that was in the past, you know where you were, who you were with, what was being said, and why you've put that particular scene in place, of course, is to resonate with your clients. We're now going to look at Act 2. And Act 2 is all about the path that you took to get away from this problem in Act 1. Make sense? What do I mean by path? I mean, what did you do? And this is the things that you tried and they didn't work. So in this piece, what we're really talking about here is, it's a little bit like a game of chutes and ladders, or snakes and ladders, as we say in the UK. You started off on a journey, you tried to do something and it didn't work out. You tried something else, it didn't work out. So it's almost like you were searching for a solution. What path did you take? Not every path is A to B. You know, some paths are a little bit dead end, you know, diversions along the way. So what did you do? So for example, in my story, you know, I went to Andy's Public Speakers University, and of course I came across a host of people that I didn't really resonate with. There was Miles with Smiles, if you remember, which I was like, he was asking me what business I had. I didn't have a business. I worked for Dracula. You know, what was my branding? I thought that's what they did to cows up north. I really went to that event trying to find friends for my funeral, if you remember. So the next bit here is, what did you try that failed, that you know that your ideal client may try to do, but you know that that's not going to work for them either? Or you know that they may be trying it now and it's not working for them. Because if it was working for them, let's be honest, they wouldn't be sitting in front of you, would they? So you're going to, again, this is your story, but it's got to be for your audience. So what did they try? So I'm talking about going to the university, not understanding what anything about public speaking was, being there for the wrong reason, not being ready to be seen. Because there are some people in my audience that won't feel they're ready to be seen. I knew I wasn't ready to be seen, but I still did it because I kind of like the energy. And then what happens is, this Act 2 is almost in two halves. This is the tried, didn't work, tried again, didn't work, something else didn't work. And then what happens is, notice we haven't talked about this mentor here yet. The mentor shows up in the second half of Act 2. So who came into your life that said something to you about your product or service that made you realise that either you needed to get into it, you needed to expand your business, you needed to start a business, something that was a light bulb moment that made you go, oh my gosh, maybe I could do that. So here for me, the light bulb moment, let's do a little black light bulb moment. The light bulb moment came with Maz, who helped me to understand that the reason why I didn't want to move forward in my life was because what happened to me when I was 5 years old is my mum put a key around my neck. She told me to be careful, not let people in, and don't tell anybody because it was a secret, right? So all of those instructions to a 5-year-old kid being left on their own for like half an hour every day was really good advice. But Maz helped me understand through personal development that that's the same rules I'd lived throughout my life. So I was trying to be careful. I didn't want people to see me. I had secrets. Why would you want to be seen if you've got secrets? Everyone's going to know about that, right? But that particular way of living, that coping strategy, if you like, the way that I got through life was no longer relevant when I was 48 years old. So here you're going to be revealing through a mentor potentially something that's held you back, but of course it's got to resonate with your clients. Because again, many of my clients don't feel good enough. They think that whatever's on the outside is not available to them, and they feel different. And that's exactly how I felt. So again, even though it's my story, I know it's resonating. Not everybody has a Maz, but in this case, you may become the Maz to your client. So again, here they see, yeah, that resonates with me. What did you do? Oh, they had a mentor. So of course, you're setting the story up for them to have a mentor, which of course is going to be you. So here, I now want you to stop the video, go to the workbook, work out what things you tried that didn't work out, and do they resonate with your audience? Now, you don't know if they're going to resonate 100% with all of your audience, but could it resonate with your audience? Have you got enough variety in there for at least one of those points to resonate with your audience where they are right now? Because when people come to find you, they're looking for a solution. They're on the path. They've tried some things that aren't working. That's why they're still looking, right? And then in your mentor scene, and here's the thing, right? Please do not tell me that you had a fucking download in the shower, or that it came to you one moment and that, oh, all of a sudden I decided I'd do this, because that's not how life works. You may have read a book and then it reminded you of the book when you were in the shower, or you may have heard something that then reminded you a few days later. But please do not be your own fucking mentor. It's not going to work, because then people just go, oh, it was all right for you. And what you don't want them to think that is, you want them to think, oh my gosh, even you needed some help, but I see how it helped you once you got that help. Because otherwise they're just going to say, oh, I'm just going to wait for divine intervention, right? It never, ever happens like that. Honestly, I've been doing this for years. It doesn't sound right because it's not right. It was definitely something that reminded you of that situation. So maybe you read a book, maybe someone said something to you, whatever that was. What was that light bulb moment for you? So stop the video now, go to the workbook and write down the pieces of information that we need for the storyboard for Act 2. Go ahead, see you soon.